Here. It's a pleasure for me to be here. You know, I was a little early, so when I was sitting down, a whole group of people from Hy-Vee showed up, and I said, well, what's going on? Why are you here? And they said, well, our CEO, Randy, believes that whenever you're in doubt, you bring your own crowd. So all of you over here, congratulations. You know, Jeff, earlier, when Carol didn't quite pronounce your name properly, it dawned upon me that even after being in this country 42 years, when my name shows up on spell check, it comes back as Suku Radia. I wonder what it does to Chris Konetsky. So before, what am I supposed to talk about? No, never mind. Let me start out with something that is not in the 10 points from Bankers Trust. I sincerely believe that you need to have a really good sense of humor, so I always tell our employees, make sure you take your work seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. And I do try to live by that. Probably some, my really great colleagues from Bankers Trust who are here would probably say, I wish you'd be serious at least part of the time. As I was thinking about my remarks and what I really needed to talk about, I clearly felt that, you know, the old axiom, I've been accused of imparting knowledge without possessing it, it applies. So I'm going to attempt to do that. The first item I want to talk about is corporate responsibility. We're in the service business before we are in the banking business. Obviously, if the airline industry figured that out, the world would be a lot better. But in any event, we truly are in the service business. We are a community bank. So in every community in which we operate, we are going to be engaged. We make our decisions locally, and more importantly, when our employees are involved in the community, we believe we create employment in those communities. We loan money. We do a lot of things to get engaged in the community. And we take that responsibility very, very seriously. You know, Winston Churchill said, the price of responsibility is greatness, and we really, truly do subscribe to that. The other thing is that our mission statement is reasonable profit ethically earned. We're a privately held organization, and so that statement says a lot about our responsibility to our employees, to our communities, and to our industry. Just to give you an example, we are owned by the Ruan family, and between the bank and the Ruan companies, we put back about $3 million a year in philanthropy and sponsorships, and we take that very seriously because we believe we owe it to the community. We also, well, just to give you another data point, our employee participation in United Way is at 98.5%. We're very proud of that. So again, we take that corporate responsibility very seriously. The other item I wanted to talk about is employee engagement. You know, we really do believe that work-life balance is very, very important. So we really value our employees because they're our greatest asset. And under any circumstances, when you take a look at a survey, what you find is that compensation does not rank as the top item of concern to employees while we compensate them well. But what sort of an environment, what sort of a culture do you have as an organization is really important. And at the end of the day, that is borne out by the fact that our attrition rate is right at 2%, which is for most companies unheard of. So we are very proud of that. We do respect our employees. We provide them all the tools that they need, and our volunteer hours exceed about 14,000 a year. So again, employee engagement is really important. And last piece that I wanted to talk about simply was the accessibility to leadership. We want to make sure that our senior leaders are very accessible. And I have an obligation, and so do my senior members of the management team, to make sure we set the right tone at the top. I think that is absolutely critically important. I could talk about a lot of different things under that umbrella, but the reality is that when Chris told me earlier that I had only 5 minutes and I wasn't listening, Chris, the buzzer hasn't gone off and I'm done.